On today's episode of This Tank Cost a Shit Ton of Money, the Type 62. Now, many of you may know the Type 62 from the Chinese tree, but what many of you may not know, if you're new to the game, is there was a Type 62 for the Russian tree, and it was an event vehicle. It's not a premium. You had to grind it out, and mine still isn't done, which is crazy. Now at 6.7, this tank was insanely good. It has a terrible traverse rate for the turret, like turret traverse. But everything else about this vehicle is fast, speed, fun, high octane. It's pretty cool. So we're going to take this thing out. I'm going to do my best to highlight bush camp and see how we do with it. Is it worth $900? You be the judge of that. I mean, personally, probably not. I figured this would be a good one to do a post commentary on because it's not like the same situation as the HE-162. Previously, if you haven't seen that video, we covered the $1,500 plane in War Thunder, and it's terrible. It's absolutely garbage, and it was a lot of suffering playing it. I hate it. Now, there were some comments of people saying that I flew it bad and that the plane can be flown right. That's cool. I believe you totally. I haven't been playing this game since 2014. I haven't flown the HE-162 for the entirety of that time, and every single time I've gone to it, it's been doo-doo. It's okay if you like a doo-doo plane. We won't judge you. We won't judge you. Regardless, Type 62. Now, one of my favorite things about this tank is the APHE. Now, I know that's crazy because it has Heat FS. Heat FS is a nice deterrent for heavily armored vehicles, but most of the time, you run into light boys, and light boys love getting swapped with APHE. It's amazing. And since you're a light tank and you have APHE and you have a little bit more armor than some of the other light tanks, you don't die to machine guns as easy as the Fiat does. But you can smack a Fiat with an APHE. Now you could also scout. You're bushed up. You're low profile. Just imagine a baby T-54. Just the thing with this is it doesn't actually have armor. If any World of Tanks players in the house, oh my god, people are gonna lose their mind. Any Worlds of Tank players in the house know the Type 62, but they know it in World of Tanks because it was a lower tier than the T-54, but it performed basically the same. It was just insanely strong for its tier. In this game, it's not like that. This tank, it can definitely die. It does die. But you can also hit shots like that on Tigers, side on. You can scout them for your team. Absolutely rip the enemy apart. And I suggest trying to play this tank like this. You go into hiding, right, in the beginning. You scout as much as you can. You try to make your position not known. And here, I honestly could have got away with not shooting if I had a squad with me. If I had some teammates over on the side that I'm on that are talking to me and stuff, I could say, hey, guys, I'm going to scout these tanks. These tanks will be up in a second. And they could have whacked those guys, and I wouldn't have even had to give my position away. But I like that style of play. The side shots with APHE on this, it gives you a lot of strength for such a small package. You can definitely whoop people. And then if you have to deal frontally, obviously, with any of the, big tanks at your tier, you load AP or Heat FS, and you can go straight through the upper front plate of a Tiger 2. Well, actually, I don't know if you can go through straight up the upper front plate, but you can definitely get through the front of the turret and knock some stuff out with that AP or Heat FS. Sorry. Don't judge me for my commentary skills. I haven't had all my coffee yet. Here, listen to that. There's a lot of... Let me take a little sip real quick. Next up, this part of the footage, I kind of just want to show off how fast this tank is. It's not a really particular good game, but for this tier, right, this thing's pretty good. It's kind of like a Russian RU-251. That's the best way to describe it, I guess. The RU-251, for the record, though, in my opinion, is better than this tank. Some advantages this thing, I guess, gets over the RU-251 is it can shoot over the engine deck. The RU-251 can't. But this thing gets pretty shitty depression, so there's that trade-off. And the turret rotation is definitely better on the RU-251 as opposed to this thing, which is just terrible. It's a meme tank, and it's definitely, I mean, again, I don't think it's worth money like that, but if you're a collector and stuff, if this thing ever comes back on sale or ever comes back in an event, definitely go for it. It's a really fun tank, and it fits the Russian lineup like the RE251 fits the German lineup. The only difference is the German lineup has a lot of fast tanks anyway at that tier. Well, I guess 6, 7, right? You'd have the Panther 2. Russia doesn't really have a comparable Panther 2. At T-54, 100 maybe? Not really. I mean, I think the Panther 2 beats that 9 times out of 10. So having a nice little light scout that you can use at your 7-7 tier, it kind of fills a void that you don't really have. If you were going to go scout for Russia at this tier, you're already in a BMP pretty much. So having this, I don't know, it's just more classic MBT style, you know. You have the Heat FS. You don't have to worry about compensating with a really, really weak cannon or use your ATGMs or have a tank that can die when somebody shoots a very high velocity spitball at the side of it. So that's like the highlight of this thing. That's why I like it. I had fun with it. I've always had fun with it. I haven't tried the Chinese one yet, so I don't know if the Chinese one is any good. You guys can tell me in the comments down below. Definitely let me know. But we're going to take a quick moment to talk about something. I know, it's crazy. Take a quick moment. If you check the link in the description down below, right? Go down there. There'll be a Twitch channel. And that Twitch channel is mine. You should go follow it. Because we're going to do some cool shit this week. I'm not going to tell you what, necessarily, but maybe we will. Maybe at the end of the video. I don't know. So, we're here on the ridge. Scout the Puma coming in. Boom. I'm a scout tank, right? I'm going to sit here, try to get a shot off, but you can see I am working with the shit gun depression and the drop on that APHE. I still wasn't used to it, so I back off. Easily could have just killed that Puma there and went and capped and been the sole victor of this game, but I whiffed. And sometimes you whiff. Sometimes it happens like that. So we're going to cut to the right. I'm going to keep scanning that tree line, looking for the enemy tanks. We've had that guy scouted for a while. I'm going to drive up, take a little Bino zoom in. What is that? I see a Panther, so I scout that guy. Take a look at the Panther, and I'm going to shoot like, it's top tier. It's not top tier. Panther notices me, completely yeets that car around. I mean, that was some kid in the back yelling on vacation shit. Dad's upset, fucking pissed, drove 4 hours already. Whipped that minivan around. That Honda Odyssey did a drift. He's tight. So I wait for him to lose interest in me, of course. I mean, they always do, right? And then boom, right in the front quarter. Goodbye, everybody. And this APHE works. I mean, it works. That was a front pen. Killed everybody in the turret. Real nice when that happens. Gotta love it. So we're just going to chill here again. Do our scouting thing. Get some people scouted about. Also, this is just an aside, if you will. My mic's been acting strange. I don't know if my mic is broken or if my settings changed due to some update in Windows. Sometimes, like, if I turn and talk away like this, like, I've been having to fuck with the audio way more than I used to. I had it set pretty perfect for me. I don't know what's going on with it. I'll work it out. I'll work it out. So I got sick of sitting on that ridge because, you know me, I'm impatient. So I decided to rush A because this Puma's just been living here rent-free. We can't have that. So if anything, just know Type 62 is better than a Puma. And this thing gets that 50 cal too on the top, so that's pretty nice. Just shoot him with my 50 cal. Goodbye, little Puma. I'll see you later. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll talk this tank up, but I will also talk it down for its weaknesses. It's a light tank. It's an event tank, and it is still not the best at its tier anything. It holds a special place in my heart because it's one of the event vehicles that I actually like. There's a lot of times where they make event vehicles that I really don't give a hoot about. Like, they came out with the Merkava, which is cool, right? But then they came out with another Merkava, an event after that. So that automatically, I lose interest because the first Merkava wasn't really the bee's knees, you know? It didn't fit well, in my opinion, at its tier. It didn't do anything exceptionally well. So it kind of had a bad stigma, whereas when this tank came out, it was like one of the only tanks that had Heat FS at this tier. Everybody wanted to get it, but it also had its downsides. You know, you can kill with a 50 cal. It has terrible turret traverse. It has weaknesses and strengths, and I like that a lot. So it's been your boy Slick. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, thumbnails and pictures for this video in particular. Check the link down below. I always give credit to the guys on Live Dot that I take the thumbnails and stuff for. So go check them out if you want to see that. Support our local guys who making some sick thumbnails. And take a look at this. Yeah, that's what the Falcon. If you want to see me play the Falcon, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys. I'll be live after this video goes live. Peace.